The wind howls like a freight train tearing through the trees. I'm standing on my porch, shotgun in hand, not out of fear, but tradition. My grandfather did the same before every storm, checking the perimeter, watching the sky roll in like God's fury wrapped in clouds. That's how we do things here in Bayou Ridge, Louisiana. Tight-knit, rugged, proud, but not always fair. I'm Boone Carter, black, 36, third-generation landowner in a parish that still calls me boy when they think I'm out of earshot. This land, 82 acres of pine, swamp, and soul, has been in my family since my great-granddaddy bought it from a sharecropper's widow with his World War II pension. He built our storm shelter himself, deep in the hillside behind the barn. Reinforced steel door, bunker grade, safe from both hurricanes and history. My life's simple. I teach shop at the high school during the week, and on weekends, I run a black hunting club called Southern Sons. All veterans, all family. We gather in the woods, not just for deer but for dignity. Passing down survival, respect, and stories the textbooks skipped. This morning, the air's too still. That kind of eerie stillness you only get before chaos. I stack sandbags near the barn and double-check the generator. The news says Category 4. It'll be bad. The kind of storm that peels rooftops and remembers old sins. Across the road, her porch lights flicker on. Karen Donnelly, divorcee, HOA president, drives a white Escalade and a louder-than-life opinion on everything. Moved down from Georgia last year and tried to petition the county to rezone my land because, and I quote, "The gunfire makes my dog anxious." She's the type who clutches her purse when I walk into the post office and calls code enforcement if I hang my laundry out too visibly. I nod politely whenever I pass her. She never nods back. Just last week, she cornered me at the general store. "You really think it's appropriate to have a club like that?" she asked, eyes darting to the Southern Sons patch on my jacket. "What kind of club is that exactly?" "Private," I said with a smile. "Same kind as the country club that wouldn't let my dad in." She didn't like that. Today, I see her hauling bottled water into her garage, wearing yoga pants and a scowl. We don't speak, but I feel her watching me. Always watching, like I'm the threat. Storm sirens begin to wail. As I head toward the shelter, I catch something odd. Her garage door's wide open, but she's nowhere to be seen. A dog barks inside. A bad omen, like something's coming that don't belong. I shake it off. Probably nothing. But as the first drops of rain hit my boots, I hear a voice in my head. My granddaddy's, low and grave. "Hurricanes don't just bring wind, boy. They bring out the truth. And Lord, I don't know it yet, but this storm's gonna rip the mask clean off this neighborhood." The rain starts light, whispering against the tin roof of my barn like it's asking permission to get worse. But the wind, that's what grabs my attention. It jerks the weather vane sideways and knocks over a metal rake leaning against the shed. I secure the chicken coop, double-check the storm shelter's keypad, and start guiding my old hound Buck inside. That's when I notice it. Fresh tire tracks in the mud. Deep, wide, SUV-sized. And not mine. I glance back toward the main road. No cars. No headlights. Just dark clouds rolling in like they've got a vendetta. I crouch by the tracks, fingers brushing through the grooves. They curve off the gravel and dip behind the shed, toward the slope that leads straight to my shelter. Something ain't right. Buck growls low, ears pinned. I follow the tracks with my eyes, and just before the rain thickens, I spot it. Movement. A flash of blonde ponytail disappearing around the corner of the shelter, like a ghost too bold to vanish properly. I don't move. Not yet. My gut tells me to stay quiet. Watch. The door to the shelter, my reinforced, passcode-locked, private shelter, clicks open. Just a crack. Then closes. Someone's inside. Clench my jaw. No one has that code but me, my cousin Jay, and the Southern Sons. We don't give it out. Not for storms. Not for neighbors. Especially not to someone like Karen Donnelly. She's the only one around here bold or entitled enough to think she could just take something like that. Especially when it belongs to someone she sees as beneath her. 3 weeks ago at a town hall meeting, she said, loud enough for half the parish to hear. I'm tired of people with guns and bad manners pretending this is still the Wild West. She meant me. She always means me. I walk slowly toward the shelter, heart pounding in my ears louder than the rising storm. The closer I get, the more the unease builds, tight and heavy, like a storm surge pressing against my ribs. My finger hovers above the keypad, but I don't punch in the code. Not yet, because if Karen really is inside, she didn't get there by accident. And if she's in there during this storm, she plans to ride it out where she thinks it's safest. On my property, in my space, without asking, without permission, without an ounce of respect. Entitlement wrapped in desperation. I step back, heart steadying, rage simmering low. I don't need to bust in just yet. I've got eyes. I've got cameras. The hunting club set them up last spring, motion-triggered HD infrared. One points right at the shelter entrance. So I head back to the house, soaked to the bone, and pull up the feed on my laptop. And there she is, clear as daylight, even through the storm mist. Karen Donnelly, pushing open my shelter door with a crowbar, smiling, like she owns the place, like we won't be showing up later, but we will. And she has no idea who she just locked herself in with. Lightning cracks above the treetops like a whip from heaven. I watch Karen settle herself inside my storm shelter like she's checking into a vacation cabin. She's dragging supplies. Pillows, a tote full of snacks, even a damn scented candle, and arranging them like she plans to stay a while. I see it all on the feed. She's not alone either. There's a man with her, white, mid-40s, balding, khakis like he's trying to run from the storm and his own personality. Probably her new boyfriend. He's holding a Bluetooth speaker and nodding along as she waves around a flashlight, explaining something with big hand gestures. Probably bragging about how she secured the place. I bet she called it abandoned. I bet she thinks it doesn't count as stealing if it belongs to someone like me. My jaw tightens. I dial the sheriff's office. It rings. Rings again. Voicemail. Of course. Chief Whitmore's probably halfway through a six-pack by now, watching the radar with one eye and the football game with the other. He never answers my calls unless it's hunting season or property taxes. And even then, only if I show up in person. I text my cousin Jay instead. Code breach. Shelter. Karen's inside. Bring the boys. His reply comes fast. Say less. Be there in 20. I grab my jacket and flashlight, then stop. I stare at the screen one more time. Karen's boyfriend is pointing at the hunting club's banner hanging along the shelter wall. His mouth forms the word militia, and she laughs like it's a joke she's rehearsed. That laugh sticks in my chest like a splinter. By the time Jay pulls up in his pickup, the rain is coming in sideways. Thunder shakes the ground. With him are two of our oldest members, Terrence and Malik, both veterans, both solid as stone. They don't need much explaining. I show them the footage, and their expressions go dark. She's trespassing, Malik says. She's white and trespassing, Terrence adds. Big difference in this parish. We head down to the shelter, boots sloshing through ankle-deep water, wind snapping tree limbs around us. I bang on the door. Silence. I bang again, louder. Finally, her voice, filtered through steel and arrogance. Who's there? You know who it is, I shout. Open the door. I'm sorry, this place was unlocked when we got here. She lies without missing a beat. It's an emergency. We're sheltering in place. You broke in with a crowbar. I've got it on camera. Pause. Then the boyfriend speaks up, like he's the damn mayor. Look, man, it's dangerous out there. You should find somewhere else to hunker down. This place is full. I laugh sharp, bitter. You're in my shelter, on my land. There's no full. There's trespassing. No need to get aggressive, Karen says, voice syrupy sweet. We're all just trying to survive. I feel the others shift beside me. Tension rises with the wind. Jay steps forward. You think survival means taking what don't belong to you? What you gonna say when the sheriff sees the footage? Sheriff Whitmore loves me, she replies without hesitation. He plays pickleball with my stepdad. Go ahead, call him. Let's see who he believes. That's when it hits me. She's not scared. She planned this, probably scoped it out weeks ago. She knew about the storm, knew about the shelter, and knew deep down that if she claimed it hard enough, loud enough, someone like me wouldn't be allowed to fight her on it. Because in her eyes, this land, this shelter, even my safety, it's all negotiable, based on skin, based on power. I take a breath. You got 10 seconds to open this door before I call in the entire hunting club. And trust me, we're not the ones you want angry. There's a pause, then a metallic click. But the door doesn't open. Instead, Karen's voice returns, sharp now. Touch this door, and I'll call the police myself. Say you threatened me. Say a bunch of armed men tried to storm a shelter with a white woman inside. Let's see how that headline plays out. And there it is. The storm outside? It's nothing compared to the one rising in my chest. She's not just trespassing. She's weaponizing her whiteness, turning our presence into a threat with a snap of her fingers. Jay curses under his breath. Malik's already pulling up the second camera angle on his phone. It shows her prying the door open, smiling as she steps inside. She picked the wrong shelter, Terrence mutters. No, I say, teeth clenched. She picked the wrong club, because what she doesn't know is this shelter isn't just steel and concrete. It's history, and we're about to make some